Rajville, Bruce Porter is joining me this morning to talk about how to adjust and manage our tax expectations. We'll be back with that right after this.
Worried about taxes? Who isn't, right? As our country continues to ponder how to pay for stimulus measures and relief efforts that were enacted during the pandemic, the Biden administration already has laid out several tax proposals that would leave the wealthy and corporations facing increases. While changes to tax legislation may be beyond our control, we can develop plans that include tax-efficient strategies, estate planning options, and much, much more. Protect what's yours. Call the Resource Center today to see how we can help minimize your tax bill to Uncle Sam.
All right, Rogersville, thanks for joining us once again. Bruce Porter's here, financial expert.
Boy.
Mulu guru.
Wet financial expert this morning.
Yeah, it came down a little gully washer there. I was lucky enough to get in here before that happened. But I took a really cool picture of the sky right before all that happened.
Yeah, the sun was coming up in the east and it was black in the west.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you have hail? I had a little bit of hail.
Not that I know of yet.
Nothing significant. Don't start filing claims yet. We just had a little bit. Yep. So that's good.
What do you think about...
we need rain, though, pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking forward to that.
Very, very dry.
What do you think about Tulsi Gabbard leaving the Democratic Party?
I think it's awesome. I think it's about time. I've always kind of liked her.
Mm-hmm.
She's got good
Couldn't
things
figure
to
out
say.
why she was a Democrat.
Yeah,
apparently they couldn't either.
Yeah, so I think it's a good move on her part. She, survival.
Yeah. Well, she's saying all the right things. But she's launching a new YouTube show or podcast too, so that might have something to do with it.
Maybe
you never know.
Get her on K-ROG.
Maybe we could. That would be pretty cool. There's big happenings with K-ROG. We got some cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff happening in the next 2 to 3 months. So we're not gonna.
It's gonna be good for the community.
Yeah, we're not gonna spill the tea yet.
No,
but,
no, we're gonna keep it a secret. But there's really neat stuff coming up.
Really neat stuff coming up.
Yep.
So let's talk about your topic today. We're going to talk about top tricks to pay less on your retirement money. That sounds good to me. How do we make that happen?
Less tax.
Less tax. What did I say?
Pay less on your retirement. You left out
no,
the tax.
I left out the tax. Well, I always try to leave out the tax, but
yeah. Well, the IRS doesn't let us do that anymore.
No, they don't.
So, well, the key to retiring is keeping as much in your pocket as you can, being able to afford groceries, things like that. I think a budget, very important when you're retired to develop a budget. I often will encourage people 6 months before they pull the trigger. Figure out what your income's going to be. Live on that income. See if you can. If you can, you're good to go.
Yep.
If you're struggling to stay within that retirement income budget, then you got to rethink, either debt that you've got, obligations, or maybe work a little bit longer and build up a little bit more or whatever. Advice. But, you've got to have a strategic plan for paying your bills, covering your tax liabilities. The exposure on your Social Security tax is based on the provisional income, which if that gets too high, you get taxed on your Social Security. So
because we wouldn't want people out there being productive in society.
Right. Social Security's free, but if you're too productive, you're going to have to pay tax on a portion of that, not all of it.
Yeah, understood. And,
I think tax-favored investments are important. Everybody's heard about municipal bonds. They're tax-favored. Roth IRAs, it's a big thing people are kind of missing. Everybody in the United States, every single living, breathing person should own a Roth IRA, right?
Yeah.
It's a loophole. It's what I think. Your money grows tax deferred. You can compound your growth tax deferred. You go to pull it out, it's tax-free. If you die, it's tax-free to your heirs, the principal and the growth and the accumulated value. So why now the disadvantage, you don't get a tax break for your contribution on the front side. So, okay, big deal. If you don't need a tax break, this is a really cool place to build up a bucket of tax-free money that you and your family can use the rest of your life.
And then when you retire on it, you don't have to pay a dime in taxes on it.
Not a dime.
But when you say tax deferred, that means if you pull it out early, you do have to pay taxes on it. Is that why you said tax deferred?
The rule is 5 years or 59.5 for the use. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can use it.
Okay.
Right?
So
you can pull out your principal that you've put into your Roth at any time without tax, because it's never tax advantaged going in. So that's the rule. The growth, the accumulation, the interest has to be 5 years or 59.5.
I see.
And there's a couple other stipulations. If you become disabled, if death occurs, or first-time home buyer, higher education, yada, yada, yada.
Well, what an awesome plan for a young person, young couple just starting out. Get that apartment, that starter apartment that you can afford, and then start putting that money away instead of just putting in a traditional savings account. Put it in a Roth IRA.
Absolutely.
That you're using to save for that home because there's no reason not to. You're going to get potentially a better return on your investment than in a savings account. And if something cool happens, you might have just made a good dent on your retirement already.
Yeah, I mean, you figure if you're in high school or grade school, let's go back a little further.
Yep.
And your parents did a Roth IRA for you, and they fully funded it every year until today.
Yeah. Boy, that'd been great.
$6,000 a year going into your Roth. Let's just say it was in a various,
so you can open a Roth for a minor.
Yeah.
Really?
All of my children have Roth IRAs.
That's fascinating. I wish I'd known that. I wish I'd met you 30 years ago, Bruce.
Yeah, no kidding. I wished I'd met me that far ago.
Well, what are these Roth conversions all about? I've heard of that, but I don't really understand them.
So if you have a traditional IRA, if you have a 401k, a retirement plan through your employer, or an IRA that you built up on your own, and you keep hearing this rumble on the horizon about higher taxes are coming, taxes are coming. That dude on the horse with a riding through the town with the lantern, that's what he should be doing right now, because 2026 is coming like
taxes are coming. Taxes are coming.
It's a freight train. The taxes are coming. 2026 is going to be here before we know it. We have 4 tax periods right now before the tax laws change. And I'm telling you, be prepared. This is like a hurricane 4 years down the road. That's a Category 10. All right? If you knew it was coming, what would you do about it?
Yeah, take shelter. Move.
Move those funds. Eliminate. You can pay me now, pay me less now, right? Or you can pay the IRS more later, significantly higher
So
tax.
if you have tax-deferred money, like in an IRA, sometime between now and when that hurricane hits, you want to withdraw it and pay the tax.
You want to convert it to a Roth IRA.
Okay.
It's the same difference. You're not taking distribution. Because if you take distribution and then go back to a Roth, you're limited to your annual contribution limit.
You want to convert it.
So if you got $1 million in your IRA account, it's really going to be a sad day when you retire, because you just created a huge tax liability for yourself and your family in the future. If you just think about that, you don't have to do an all or none. Let's develop a conversion plan over the next 5 years. Let's take advantage of low taxes while we can. The Trump tax code expires at the end of 25. So let's take advantage of that while we can. All right. Now, when the taxes are higher down the road, you know who's going to pay the majority of tax? And everybody take heed. You need to be prepared. Anybody making under $400,000 a year is going to pay the majority of the tax increase. Now, you remember what Joe Biden campaigned on, right? Nobody under 400 grand is going to pay one red penny in tax.
Wasn't true. And if we didn't pay it in taxes, we certainly paid it at the gas pump.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so now that's coming. I've seen the estimate from tax people on the increase and the changes that are coming. It's not real pretty. I mean, it's significant.
So how does a Roth convert? Can you convert an entire IRA to a Roth in one swell swoop?
So you can. Let's use $100 grand.
Yep.
All right. I got $100 grand in my IRA. I want to convert it to a Roth. All right. Well, let's say you're in average family, 12% tax bracket. That's up to $83,550 in taxable income. So let's say you're there. So now the way the taxes work, portion of your money's taxed at 10, portion of it's not taxed at all, your standard deduction, which is going away in 2026. All right. So you got a portion of it that's not taxed, and then you got a portion at 10%. You may have a little bit at 12. All right. So, let's figure you're in that situation. Now you got $100,000 in your IRA, and you want to convert that to
a Roth.
A Roth.
Yeah.
You got $100,000 worth of taxable unearned income that year, taxed at your current tax rate. So at least 12%, assuming that's on top of your earned income.
So the net of that is, if I want to convert my IRA to a Roth IRA, I do it. I just have to pay the taxes.
That's right. So,
but I can do it all in 1 year.
Part of it's going to be taxed at 12. Part of it's going to be taxed at 22.
Right.
Because that's the next jump.
Right.
Big hurdle.
Yep.
Now, once you get it converted, now the
grows
account,
tax.
You got, say, 80% of it left. All right. 85, right? Because you pay the
taxes, yeah.
All right. Now you let it grow. Within 3 to 5 years, you're back where you were. It's all tax-free. Now, down the road, you just keep making your contribution to your Roth. You don't get a tax deduction for the contribution, but it grows tax-deferred. You pull it out tax-free. And if a drunk driver takes you out, it all goes to your family tax-free. Right. Tell me what's not to like about that.
I like it.
Right? And so I just think you have to plan sometimes your tax liability because, with 4 years to go, you don't have to do it all at once. Do 25% of it for the next 4 years, and you spread your liabilities out, and it's all good. So enough of that. Everybody woke up now?
Yeah, I'm awake. Let's go.
8 o'clock. We're talking about taxes.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
So I think we got everything covered.
I think
I didn't keep up with your slides very well. I didn't know. I didn't follow. But at any rate, if you want more information, there's a link in the comments, and or you go right there to the QR code, or I put your website in the title, or you can call 417-882-1800 and schedule time to sit down and talk to Bruce.
Yeah, we got 2 more workshops next week.
Got one today. I think we just got one next week.
Might.
Is there 2? I don't know.
Well, we've been kind of consolidating.
Yeah.
22 people last night.
I think we got one today and one next week, but we'd love to have you come and see us.
Then November, and then we're going to be off for the holidays. So I would encourage you to get in, get an appointment.
And we have the fresh seasonal pumpkin spice estate plans available now.
That's right.
That's right. We'll see
Does
you later.
that come with a pie?
Yeah, you might. You never know.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.